fewer than 50% of adults are married, according to new statistics in this. Is this the end of marriage? Is it the beginning of a new way of life for people? What do you think?
Marriage is already done. It's already done. It's over with. What we have today isn't marriage anymore. The average marriage is 7 to 8 years.
With another? Well, that's a very good point.
Yeah, so marriage today isn't marriage. And honestly, marriage is a modern death sentence for a lot of men. You know, men are 9 times more likely to commit suicide after a divorce.
Really?
And I think it's underreported, actually. I think it's higher than that because, you know...
Men get upset very easily.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that men are abused in the family court system.
I think that's a very unpopular...
We should remember the Fathers for Justice thing. The Fathers for Justice.
I don't think you guys could really live to be as old as you are, no offense, and not have seen someone really go through it in the family court system. So I
agree. Listen, I agree totally with what you're saying.
And you say marriage should be for life. You sign a contract of vows.
Well, it should be, but it's not.
You can't tie somebody to something for life.
Well, don't sign the contract then.
Well, I agree. But what's going to happen in the future if marriage is dead? Family life is dead. We're not bringing enough new citizens into the world. What are we going to do?
I mean, I can't solve it, but you know, the future.
Have you got any children?
What is the future going to be? It's going to be a lot of single parents,
a lot of old people,
it's going to be a lot of single parents, and it's going to be a lot of people without children.
Yeah.
So, you know,
but the world needs to depopulate, apparently.
You know, I don't believe that.
Some of the world, maybe, but
Elon Musk says we need more, doesn't he? So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, feminism has won, and
How do you? We were talking just before to a counsellor, a lady called Mandy Clare, who was thrown out of a debate. She was a counsellor in a debate about women's issues, and she was thrown out because she wanted to talk about transgender views. It seems to me that we, as a nation or a society, not us, are becoming very kind of so-called politically correct wokeists. You can't upset anybody. You can't tell somebody they're doing wrong. And yet the whole foundation of society is sort of falling apart. Not falling apart, falling apart.
So what's the question?
So the question is, what can we do to bring it back?
I'm a happy pessimist. I don't see it coming back anytime soon. I think that society will just crumble, and you know, I think eventually it'll crumble so bad that people will go back to their traditional gender roles. I don't think it'll happen in my lifetime.
What about the States compared to this country? I mean, you live here. It's worse. Isn't it worse there? Is it?
Not really. It's like the same.
So what will you do to stay in this country? Because there are some countries that haven't got it.
Not really. I've interviewed people from around the world, and the countries that haven't got it, they're moving in that direction.
And they're authoritarian governments, the ones that don't have it.
So if there's nothing
good luck.
I mean,
even them. I mean, you can't undo social media. Social media, you know, when women are given freedom to date, they date 5, 10, maybe 20% of men at most. So that's what you're going to see. You're going to see more women sharing men, either as side chicks.
Men won't like that.
Maybe multiple wives.
Men won't like it, but men have done it for years.
What do you mean?
Men have always had, I was going to say a bit on the side, that's not really, but most men have from the traditional sort of form of marriage, a lot of men have had a couple of flings, during a marriage.
The top men, but the bottom, like...
Can they not do it?
No, one out of 3 men under 30 are sexless.
Really?
They're having either virgins or haven't had sex in the past year. Is that because of the internet, though? Well, it's because women will always, a girl can turn 18 and she can get flown out by a billionaire to Dubai. These are the, where before she would marry her high school sweetheart. These are the...
This is basically your view. It's very unfair. Men go to war and die. Men do the tough jobs and women have had it easy, is basically what you say.
Yeah. I mean, compared to men, I think a man's life is much harder than a woman's life.
I'd agree with that.
I'd agree. And you also agree, you think women shouldn't get the vote?
No, I don't think women should
Why
vote.
not?
Because we're not doing the equal amount of work. I think if you have a right, it should come with the responsibility that comes with it. So if you have the right to vote, you should be contributing either tax-wise, maybe doing some of the infrastructure jobs, and I can compromise on this. It could just be net taxpayers, But let's just be honest, women have a lot of debt, and women are
They do actually factually have more debt than men,
They own 80% of the world's debt, so we're spending more money than we're making, and we're doing a lot of the useless jobs.
And it's on our credit cards.
Why are you going around talking about this? Surely what you should be doing is finding a nice man, getting married, and behaving in the way you think everybody else should. Instead of becoming out an anti-feminist who goes out and speaks about
really
it all
you're
the time.
pro-feminist in a way.
Well, I'd like to get married, so I'd like to get married and have kids.
I don't think while you've got this this view, if you talk in my ear again, I will sack you. Sorry, beg your pardon. I mean, if you have if you have these views, should you not be actually looking for a man? I mean, I presume you've got a boyfriend. Or,
Yeah.
What does he think?
He likes this stuff, actually. Like, he's a fan.
He would do.
So, yeah. So
most men probably agree with, apart from woke virtue signaling.
Yeah,
men.
so...
What do other women say?
As soon as you find somebody you want to marry and settle down with,
well,
then the rest of
it's the man's choice. I think marriage is a tough sell nowadays for men.
Do you want your boyfriend to pop the question? You do, don't you?
I mean, eventually.
How long have you been, stepping out with him?
Okay. I don't want to go too much into it, just because
he wants you to propose to her.
But
I don't want to propose at all. Are you asking me?
No.
Oh right, okay, fine. I dropped off.
Yeah, no, I like him, so I hope it works out.
That's the first.
How long have you been going out with him?
Not super long. It's new, so.
If you got married and if he was having a bit of a fling on the side, would you want to get divorced? Or would you appreciate that maybe men are a bit like that?
No, I think women should work through infidelity. You know, there's extreme cases, right? But I think in general, women should.
But you blame that on the man's infidelity. You will blame on the woman. I've heard
a lot of times, yeah, because you know it's very common for women to not sleep with men after they get children.
Yeah.
So, you know, they get the kids they want. You know, I've interviewed guys that didn't have sex with their wives for 10, 15 years, and my question is, well, what did you expect?
But you know, sex,
is that feminism
sex,
that's done that?
Hang on, sex is not the be all and end all of marriage.
Well, it is to some men, isn't it?
Well, no.
You don't get it. It's a right to a divorce.
Would any man get married if he knew there would be no sex?
No, I suppose it's an age thing as well. You get to Ash's age and it sort of falls off.
Well, you just fall asleep.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it comes back, though, doesn't it, when you get to your age?
I'm not actually prepared to discuss it.
Well...
you know...
But basically, you're saying the woman should satisfy the man and he won't leave, is basically what you're saying.
Most men, yeah.
But most men, I think, see just, you know, and women are to blame for this, because a lot of women like,
that's what she's saying.
A little bit, maybe, you know, of titillation every now and then while the husband is away. And they have a really nice relationship with their husband. They're super friends. They enjoy a little bit of sex here and there, but every now and then, on both sides, maybe they like just something different. Is that bad?
On both sides cheat, are you saying? I don't understand.
We might not use the word cheat.
No, that's what he's saying. Yeah.
Some people actually come to an agreement.
But if they're both cheating, it's an open marriage, basically.
Yeah, I mean, most men can't cheat. Women are out cheating men nowadays. You know, there's new studies.
Really?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're out drinking men, too.
Oh, yeah.
I think most of the things that women say about men, women are.
Back to Goebbels again. Back to Goebbels.
I mean, I think you're right. Of course, a lot of women will have a glass of wine in the evening.
Have you seen the size of the glasses now? They're like that.
Yeah, women.
And it could be quite easily a bottle a night.
I mean, women always say the men are these alcoholic abusers. Like, that's what I always hear. And they always say they're deadbeats. That's another one. I think there's more female deadbeats than male deadbeats. I think women are more abusive than men. No, I do.
Have the dating apps made things worse? Because women can go out, they've got a much more selection. It's easy to be
yeah, because you turn, again, like, you know, a woman would turn 18 or 20, whatever, you know, and their options would be the high school or the town. Now it's anyone in the world, anywhere.
Who's 100 meters away.
Yeah, and if a girl's attractive enough, I mean, there'll be big-name celebrities messaging her on Instagram.
Really?
Have you had that?
Oh, no.
I bet you have.
Haven't you?
Yeah, didn't you get my message?
I mean, it's a way things are progressing. I mean, people used to get married
it was an ownership thing,
and
wasn't
stay
it?
married for their entire lives. And I was married to my first wife for a long, long time till sadly she died. And I got married again because I met somebody I absolutely fell in love with. And I think if you fall in love with somebody, and I think a lot of people aren't lucky enough to actually fall in love, because sometimes falling in love, it's not just about sex. It's about the whole of the personality of the person, the vibe, the fact you almost feel like one when you're together. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional. No, I'm not.
That's beautiful, man.
It's perhaps people are now so wound up in their social media life, and everybody's going on, well, we're going to have to ban phones to people under 16.
Good luck.
It's never going to happen. It's
never.
absolutely never going to happen. What we need to do is learn to live with the added pressure of social media and deal with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, social media is affecting women.
Yeah.
So, women are the ones we're the ones choosing not to get married. So,
yeah.
I'm just describing what's happening. I don't
Well, men are choosing not to get married as well. I think a lot of people are. They're just thinking, well, first of all, financially and the way the world's going, and you just think, well, and also you can have quite a nice life.
But you'd like to get married. Yeah.
And you want kids.
Do you want us to ring him? Should we ring him and get him on?
He's taking too long about it.
But women are having children a lot later in life.
Yeah.
And that by the time you get to 60...
But they're more balanced, the kids, then?
No,
because you're sensible when you're older, you know, to bring them up. When you go at 18-year-old with the kids, they're messed up, the kids.
When you're older.
Well, I would argue that men actually... I think women are the ones pushing off marriage, not men.
Yeah.
I think more men want to get married young than women.
Is it too easy to jump out of a marriage now? Should it be more difficult?
Well, women are paid to do it. So it's definitely not easy for a man to jump out of marriage.
What do you mean women are paid to do it?
I mean, women are given child support, alimony, and they can steal the children. They
and
can
the
take
house.
they
get
the
house.
Yeah, modern marriage is a death sentence to many men. They have no idea what they're signing. I'll give you an example. In California, if you find out, so let's say you're married. Yeah. You guys are. And at 5
We're
years...
We're not married, by the way.
Well,
it's a civil partnership.
At 5 years old, you find out that the child is not yours, that someone else is the father. Yeah. You are still on the hook for child support, regardless.
God. That's fraud.
Because the way that the law is written, it is in the best interest of the child, which defaults to the best interest of the mother.
God, that's terrible. I mean, that's just because she's basically committed fraud, hasn't she? In that case?
And 1 out of 3, and it's 1 out of. I think guys, you really DNA. If you're watching this, DNA test your kids. Yeah. A DNA test center.
Unless they look like them, and it's obvious.
1 out of. She might have an ex that looks like you.
Yeah, that's true. They often do like the same looking people. Yeah, that's true. Actually.
I mean, 1 out of DNA testing centers, 1 out of 3 comes back that it's not the
1 out of 3.
1 out of 3.
What is that, California, or is that?
No. This. I think this one was out of Kentucky, but the numbers are similar. Wow. Some people argue it's not that high, but what I've found
1 out of 3.
What I have found is that whenever there's information that makes women look bad and reduces female power, people want to suppress it. I think it's
well. Both your lads look like you, but then. But Phil Mitchell looks like you. Did you ever know Phil Mitchell? Did Melinda ever know Phil Mitchell from EastEnders in the past? Because they both look like you, your kids, don't they? So what's the future,
What about Harry Hill?
Harry Hill. I mean, is the future, is it the end of... You're a pessimist, so you think it's...
I'm a happy pessimist. I think my life's going to be awesome.
You go with the flow.
I mean, you're getting a bit old now. I mean, I'm not being rude, but, you've got to get this together. What are you, 28, 29?
27, rude.
Pretty good.
Oh, not bad. Tell her how you can judge the age of a woman.
I'm not going
Hands, right?
No.
Yeah.
You tell them.
He used to... it was like a tree. You count the rings on their neck is what he used to say.
How old are you guys?
How old do you think?
85.
No, but it's showbiz age. No. I mean, yeah, you're bang on, but you're a bit low.
What, 85? You think he's 85?
Yeah, 72. No, I'm just kidding. Let me see. I would say like 67, 65.
She's humouring you.
Come on.
And then 42.
That's good.
Humouring you.
No, that's good.
Humouring you. I'm 73.
And I'm
I was close.
68.
Oh, you're 68?
No, I'm not. No.
He's 54 or something.
Oh, wow.
I'm 50 something.
Yeah. So we're quite old.
Yeah.
Well, one of us is quite very old. And
I mean, this conversation is going nowhere. I don't know what we're talking about our age. We're talking about marriage is out of date. Marriage is finished. There isn't going to be any more. And voting...
We talked about that. She doesn't think women should vote.
No, I know. Pearl said earlier, no.
Well, I'm sort of a compromise. I think if a woman's married, the man should have 2 votes. Don't you think that would be?
Yeah, that's better than what we have now.
I was in the papers once saying you should only get the vote if you earn 50 grand or more.
Yeah, then a lot of women would be eliminated
well,
too.
Well, no, because you get 2 women on 25 going club together and get 1 vote, I think.
Well, I think, and this will be very strange, and I've got more experience than both of you. So I think men and women are equal, but they are equal in different ways. So there are some things men can do better than women, and there are lots of things women can do better than men. But there are also things that they can't do.
What can women do better than men?
Crochet.
Doubt it.
Knitting.
Doubt it.
Very, very good at business, quite a lot of them.
No,
you're just making a silly sweeping statement. A lot of women are
better at certain things.
I have worked
business
for more women than men.
They're more honest. I find in business women are mainly more honest.
Yeah.
Okay, what have women invented? Built? Like, what's
I think
the X-ray was
invented. The X-rays was invented by a woman, wasn't it?
I doubt it.
Marie Curie, didn't she? Marie Curie.
Oh, see, they always list that one, but the problem.
Oh, the woman who invented mobile phone.
This is what I always find.
Hold on.
There's always a catch.
The fact is, going back in time, women are inventing new drugs and coming up with new treatments for all sorts.
The inventor of software was Byron's daughter. What was her name? I can't remember, but she invented, with Charles Babbage, she invented the software for computers at 17.
Back in time, women didn't invent things because they had a different sort of job to
but that's
do.
a myth. I've seen 100-year-old films with women doing degree walks. They were inventors of software, like I said. I can't remember her name. Byron's daughter, he never met her. There's been loads of women who have the X-ray woman. There's been great women warriors.
Well, and the other thing is that even the fact that you guys are Googling it, it's like
I'd normally remember.
If it was a guy, like we can.
I can't
it's automatic off the top of our head. It's like Bill Gates.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
You're still wrong because I'm presenting the show. You're not.
Ada Lovelace. Ada Lovelace.
I'm better at this than you are, or was until I got croaky throat and everything tonight. But some things men are better at. Women make really good producers and bosses. Men make better presenters.
But it's a generalisation. You get great women, mathematicians. You do get great women. It's all different.
Not statistically.
No.
Yet people will say in this business, oh, it's man heavy. I mean, it's not really. Tonight it is. But usually usually far more women in the control room and telling me what to do than...
And it just falls apart.
Some of these people in here tonight identify as women. I don't know what you do with
this
that.
kind of backs up my statement that, women have more useless jobs because, in all honesty, no offense, we could all disappear, society would run fine.
Yeah,
but men
actually
do the
better.
hard.
Actually better.
Men could disappear. You'd only need one man,
like the Wonder Woman Island.
To keep
do you remember
things going?
Wonder Woman.
No. If men disappeared tomorrow, the entire society would collapse.
Well, no, you can't.
You don't need men because you can store the sperm, but you always need women to have people.
Pearl, we got to go for a break. Thank you very much indeed. Everybody can discuss this at the pub tomorrow